first win the popular vote nationwide, which is like impossible, right? They got no candidates, no agenda. They have this divide, which is suppressing their turnout. The Democrat machine isn't going to be at full throttle on election day, you know. So the Democrats, to win back the House, not only have to win the popular vote, they have to win it by 4 points. That's not going to happen. This is just what this will do, because remember, this is CNN, and it's the CNN audience, which is a Democrat audience. What this will do is depress their turnout. Now, here in Florida, I've been talking about this. I voted early, so I can't remember, I voted on the last day of early voting, so it was Thursday or Friday. I can't remember. I talked about it on the podcast. You guys remember? I talk so much and have so many different shows and streams going on, I lose track. But I voted early in Florida last week on the last day of early voting. I voted for Byron Donalds for governor. And I was talking to you about the turnout. Look at this. Florida primary turnout is shifting. Look at this. So in 2022's midterms, in the state of Florida, Democrats versus Republican in early voting, okay? 134,788 more Democrats than Republicans voted early, right? So they had over 1 million that voted early. Republicans had less than 1 million who voted early, and 134,788 more Democrats than Republicans voted early 4 years ago. And early voting includes mail-in voting as well as in-person voting here in Florida. This year, the latest numbers that are in, okay, and these numbers could only go up, Republicans 868,931, Democrats 800,488, 68,443 more Republicans voted than Democrats. And that number is definitely going to go up for the Republicans, because I saw some numbers over 1 million this morning that I was reading. So what this shows you is, you know, Florida used to be a toss-up state. So not only did we toss the state, okay, back to a firm Republican state, for the first time in history, this is the first time this has happened. For the first time in the history of the state of Florida, more Republicans than Democrats voted early or mail-in absentee. Never happened before. First time in history. And this is an old state. Remember, the Florida used to be a part of the Democrat Confederate States. So throughout the entire history of the state of Florida, since it has been a state, for the very first time, Republican voters outnumbered Democrats in early absentee and mail-in voting. Never happened before. And that's because of what I told you guys in the beginning, that the Democrats, they don't have any candidates that are superstars. They have a bunch of villains, right? And they have no party platform. People are disgusted by them. I mean, when the Democrats at the State of the Union wouldn't stand for Laken Riley's mother, as an example. I mean, come on. What kind of scumbag does that? I'll tell you, Democrats. That's who does scummy things like that. So things are going well, and it's look at this. Here's the this is CNN. This is out of Michigan, and what I was telling you is that the Democrats don't have any superstar candidates. This is the latest poll out of the Michigan Senate race. Right? Abdul versus Rogers. Look at this. And I want to tell you, this is a left-leaning poll because it's of registered voters, not likely voters. So Mike Rogers is likely further ahead of Ahmed than even that. See, and think about it. You know, Abdul El Sayed has scared the living daylights out of people in this country. You know, and the Democrats and the Democrat socialists, they just misread the room. They got all excited. They thought because Mamdani won in New York, which was a fluke, okay, that the country was ready for Muslim Democrat socialist. Because and the reason they're so out of touch is because they live in that Muslim Democrat socialist bubble where everybody's Muslim and everyone's Democrat socialist. So, you know, it's our time, you know. It's not. They're getting creamed. And Abdul, who they thought that Abdul and Graham Plattner is the Nazi in Maine that had to drop out after he won the primary. They thought Graham Plattner and Abdul were going to be their superstar celebrity candidates. And Plattner's out, and Abdul El Sayed is damaging the brand with the help of Hassan Piker. And Democrats have been begging and clawing to try to get Hassan Piker to come speak for them, and now they're trying to drop him. And what they've done is they've damaged the brand. Now, another thing that's going on here that I've been talking about in the last couple of weeks, and this is a hard thing for a lot of people to accept, but it's true. The Democrat Party establishment, like the real Democrats, they're trying to lose the midterm election. They want to lose the midterm election. And the reason they want to lose the midterm election, they want to purge themselves of these Democrat socialists. And when they lose the midterm election, they're going to blame it on the Democrat socialist and purge them out of the party. That's their plan. So the red wave that is coming with President Trump is coming for all of these reasons, right? They have no celebrity candidates. They have villains like Ahmed, right? They have no agenda. They have no party platform. They have no reason to vote for them. They're not telling you to vote for them at all. They're just saying, we're a Democrat, vote for us, but we're not telling you why you should vote for us or what we're going to do if we get elected. The other thing is that the Democrat establishment itself is working to lose the election. So you factor all these things in, it is a red wave, and that's what we need, because the next couple of election cycles are going to cement like concrete, the MAGA movement. You know, the president has almost completely flipped the entire Republican Party and purged us of most of the rhinos. We have one big rhino who's causing a lot of problems, and that's Thune, and we don't have the Save America Act passed because of Thune, right? But when the election is over, we're going to have a new Republican leader in the Senate. It's not going to be Thune, and we're going to get the Save America Act passed. And then you look at some of these things. Look at this. This is out of New York State. Prominent Dem donor fundraising for New York GOP governor candidate Bruce Blakeman. It's the talk of the Hamptons, they write. Look at this. This is in the New York Post that I'm reading from. By the way, if you're new to the program, welcome. My name's Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're listening on one of the other podcast platforms, make sure you follow or subscribe there, all right? So this is an article in the New York Post. A dyed-in-the-wool Democrat donor who previously contributed to Governor Kathy Hochul's campaign is raising funds for Hochul's Republican gubernatorial opponent, Bruce Blakeman. The crazy town, huh? Bonnie Engelbart Lautenberg, a professional photographer and philanthropist, who's the widow of late New Jersey Democrat Senator Frank Lautenberg, oh, I knew that name was familiar, plans to hold a fundraiser for Blakeman's campaign, she confirmed today. That's shocking. It's the talk of the Hamptons, said one Democrat who expressed surprise. It's a good get for Bruce. So here you have a top Democrat. Husband was a Democrat senator. She's a big Democrat donor. She supported Kathy Hochul, this creepy governor they have. And not only is she going Republican, she's doing a big Hamptons fundraiser for the Republican. And these donors, they don't raise and donate money as a charity. They're not into charity. They're into raising and donating money to winners. Back to the New York Post here. The tongue-wagging switcheroo is all the more surprising given that Lautenberg, age 79, donated to Hochul's re-election campaign. It goes on and on and on about that, but that is big. She's been red-pilled. That's it. She's been red-pilled. Oh, man. Someone in the live chat said, why didn't Mexico pay for the wall? They did pay for the wall. If you remember, President Trump renegotiated, he did away with NAFTA and in his first term and brought in the I forgot what it was called, the UYMCA. You remember what I'm talking about, right? And when he renegotiated and threw out NAFTA and got the trade deals proper with the United States and Mexico, Canada too, that money went towards the wall. So yes, Mexico did pay for the wall. That's right. They didn't write out a check and then write in the memo, this is for the wall, but they did pay for the wall. All right, I'm going to take a quick break. When we get back, I've got a lot more to cover, so don't go anywhere. If you'd like to call in, you're more than welcome to do that. The number is 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. I'll take a quick break and be right back. I'm in the Jupiter Joe radio studio with Jupiter Joe. You know, Joe, a lot of people I know are wondering, can I retire? Do I have enough money or even income to retire? I'm sure you hear that a lot. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Thanks for tuning in. Before I get back to the president and everything that's going on, Patrick Bet-David on the Patrick Bet-David podcast pulled up video. I missed this. Oh my goodness! This is not good for Andrew Wilson. You know, Andrew Wilson, for those that don't know, he's this guy that they called it a debate with Candace Owens last week that Patrick Bet-David moderated, and over the Charlie Kirk assassination and who the real shooter was. And it was very weird. Candace Owens was paid a lot of money for that. They did it in her studio, which I'm assuming if it's not in her house is nearby, but I'm guessing it's in her house. She's 7 months pregnant. And Andrew Wilson paid her at least $300,000, which was reported, to just sit there for a couple of hours and talk to him. And I never heard of this guy before. And he really has, and I'm not the only one that's noticed this. You look him up online, he doesn't have much of a internet footprint at all for somebody at this level. But Patrick Bet-David on his podcast today uncovered something. Look. Okay, so this conspiracy that's been going on, if you're on hold, hang in there. This conspiracy that's been going on about this earpiece, and he won this debate, and Candace Owens lost this debate over Charlie Kirk. I'm no fan of what Candace Owens has been doing, okay? What she's been doing is pretty twisted and vile, and I think most people agree with that, if you're a decent person. If you don't, you're a vile person. Here's the thing about that debate. Candace Owens won the debate. First off, getting paid a minimum of $300,000. She asked for $500,000. She got at least $300,000. So the fact that she got paid the minimum of $300,000, I think, is enough reason to say she won. Nothing was accomplished by it. The other thing is, if you actually watch the debate, he didn't do that well against her. And I'm not going to show the clips because I showed some over the weekend on the podcast. But he was so nervous, and I get it. She's pretty famous, but you see his foot shaking at a very high rate of speed, like 1,000 RPMs, during a lot of that discussion. And she did very, very well against him because she's more highly skilled. He was nervous. She had home court advantage in her own studio. He didn't come anywhere near winning that debate, and she walked away with a minimum of $300,000, and she didn't have to leave her house. So anyone who's saying, that he lost, and now they're getting into these conspiracy, the conspiracy is, who is he, how did he get there, and where did he get the $300,000 to pay Candace? I'm curious how he came up with that. Is he some independently wealthy guy like Patrick Bet-David? I don't think so. I'm curious where that money came from that he paid Candace with. All right, let me take a call or two. I got a lot more to cover. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
At Arizona.
Yes, Arizona. What's on your mind?
I just want to know why Donald Trump thought it was okay to dodge the draft with bone spurs and 4 other educational deferments and died.
You cut out. You said something about deferments and then something, and then I heard died. You're so
Trump dodged the draft due to his bone spurs for a medical classification, while other Americans went and died.
Well, couple things. You cannot have bone spurs and be in the service, especially, my
But he doesn't now.
Excuse me. My father is a Vietnam veteran. He was in the Marines, and he was in combat over there for a year. And that was over 50 years ago. He still has major foot problems over there. He had to have perfect feet. And I don't know if he has bone spurs or not now. When you have foot problems and certain issues like that, it's not a big deal in everyday life. But when you're...
But he didn't.
But
He had a doctor pay for it.
Excuse me. No, that's not true. No, he's got the
Yes,
documentation that he had.
You can look
them.
it up online.
Well, you can look up
You
a
can
lot
look it up online.
You can look a lot of things up online. It doesn't mean that it's true. When he ran for when he ran for president the first time, it came out. But here's the thing about that. Democrats who criticized...
I don't care about the Democrats. I only care about draft dodging. This is what we're talking about. Don't go to something else. We're talking about this.
If you look at the screen above my head, it says The Brian Craig Show. That's me. I can talk about whatever I want. It's my show.
You're dodging issues.
No, I'm not
like
dodging the issue. I'm not dodging the issue. If I was dodging the issue, I wouldn't even be talking about this. You're off topic. I'm not dodging.
I don't want to hear you say Democrat. Talk about Trump and talk about this issue.
I'll talk about whatever I want. This is still America.
Then you're not addressing the issue.
It's not your Democrat socialist commie state yet. I will respond if
you're running from the
If
issue.
you don't stop talking, I'm going to discontinue the call. You've got to let me respond.
Go for it. You run from the issues all day, dude.
I haven't discussed any issues because you won't stop talking. All right?
You bring up Democrats. Don't talk Democrats. Talk
I'll
the issue.
talk about whatever I want. It's my show, and it's America. You get your own show. You can decide what's talked about.
Because you're a nut that only goes off rail and talks about Biden, Obama, and the Democrats. You don't talk about anything important.
Well, the thing about everything I talk about is important. The thing about Trump...
Then why did he dodge the draft?
If you interrupt me, I'm going to respond. If you interrupt me one more time, I'm going to hang up on you. All right? When he ran for office the first time, this came up, and the documents from the doctor at the time were released. He was diagnosed with bone spurs. You can't have bone spurs and be in the military. That's it. Anything else online that says different is inaccurate. And this thing about dodging the draft, the Democrats, the left, the highest form of honor was to dodge the draft. President Jimmy Carter, when he was president, pardoned all the draft dodgers, even the ones that fled to Canada.
Is that okay?
Whether it's
okay,
whether it's okay or not isn't the question. The left are the people that are opposed to Donald Trump today. The left thought it was the honorable thing to do to dodge the draft.
Not just the left.
No one was in favor of draft dodgers except the left.
Well, then why are you supporting a guy that sent other Americans to die while he had bone spurs supposedly in '68, but 10 years later he doesn't, 20 years later he doesn't?
You cannot be
in the
service.
Just fall away.
You cannot be in the service.
Bone spurs don't just fall away.
Well, then he still has them. Then he still has them.
Those,
I got to tell you,
for your whole life.
You probably are not qualified for mental, because of your mental problems. You're probably not qualified for military service yourself.
I have a master's degree, so I don't have any mental issues. You're the one that's over here covering for a guy that dodged the draft.
I'm impressed with your master's degree. What's your master's degree in?
Business administration with the concentration in disaster management.
Oh, my goodness. And in the middle of the workday, you've got time with your big fancy job and big fancy degree to watch and call me?
I can do whatever you want on my lunch. I can do whatever I want.
Okay, well, that's good. You're my hero. You're my hero. He did not dodge the draft.
You support a guy that covers the Epstein files, doesn't lock up
not
Hillary,
only did he not cover up the Epstein files, he signed a bill into law making it federal law to release the Epstein files. And then what did the files And what did the files tell us? That he was the first person to turn Jeffrey Epstein into the police. And we found out from Mike Johnson that he was even an FBI informant in the Epstein case. You're just a guy in denial. You should go back to school, get a master's in psychiatry because you need mental health. You can be your own doctor. Hey, listen, take care, all right? Get back to your busy job of business administration with your master's degree. Oh, my goodness. What a nut. All right, let's see here. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air once, twice. All right, you missed your chance. The rest of you on hold, stand by, because I got some things I want to discuss. All right, so the president had a great press conference today. Did you catch it? He had the lifeguard that saved that kid's life in the Oval Office. He was there with the lifeguard and was also there with the kid whose life he saved. And then afterwards, it turned into a bit of a press conference. And one of the big fake news stories of today is about the USS Abraham Lincoln. CNN, fake news CNN, and the left are reporting lies that there's no food on the USS Abraham Lincoln. I love it. Yeah. In fact, it came out over the weekend that the USS Abraham Lincoln has one of the highest re-enlistment rates of any ship in the Navy. 83% of the sailors and Marines who serve on the Lincoln re-enlist. That's a huge percentage. Okay, here's another clip from the press conference. They talking about Oman. Okay, so here we go. And then I played that one already. When he went after the girl on CNN, that was beautiful. You are fake news. That's exactly right. You know, people are so fed up with the news and the media. And one of the things the media hasn't been able to wrap their minds around is that people have lost confidence in them, right? They really have. And they'll never gain back the trust of the American people. It used to be that people trusted the media, but they just don't anymore. All right, now listen, I'm going to take a quick break. When we get back, there's a lot more to share, so don't go anywhere, all right? My name is Brian. This is The Brian Craig Show. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number's toll-free, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. We'll be right back. Yeah, guys, check out that Bible study. It's a very good Bible study. It's put together by a listener and watcher of the program, okay? So please help them out. The link is in the description on whatever platform you're listening on, and you'll see it says Bible study, and the link is right there. They do 2 Bible study live streams a week, and they're all on the website, and then they're archived up there, so you don't have to catch them live. If you miss them, that's okay, because they're archived up there and you can watch them after, okay? Again, the Bible study link is in the description. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. This is Faith calling from Mississippi. How are you?
All right, Faith. What's up?
Doing good. I just wanted to address the guy calling from Arizona about the bone spurs.
Mm-hmm.
If he's never had them, he needs to try them, because you cannot walk, you cannot march, wear boots with those. It is a medical condition.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, he cannot do that. And if he would not talk over you, it doesn't take a master's degree to be smart, because most people don't have common sense. So you can't throw out that he's got a master's degree to make him smart. So, but anyway, president's doing the best job, best president of my lifetime. Voted for him every time. And that's all I got to say.
Well, I appreciate the call. All right, you take care. You make some sense. AOC, if you're wondering this, you may remember this. This is from a few years ago when she first went to Congress. Listen. Okay, that was 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, AOC ran around and she was talking about this all the time, that the world only has 12 years left. Well, we only have 5 years left. And if the world is going to end in 5 years, why is she freezing her eggs? The world will not be here to, fertilize them. What's going on here? Yeah. I guess she was wrong. Her and Al Gore. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Mike from Ohio.
Yes, Ohio. What's up?
Nothing. I'm just calling to ask you, what Trump delusion syndrome do you guys have? He has been an awful leader. He started a illegal war. And gas prices are high.
Oh, slow down, slow down, because you brought up something I'm not aware of. And I like to think of myself as someone who's pretty up to date in the news. But you said that President Trump started an illegal war. What war did he start?
He started a war by attacking Iran.
No. He didn't start. No, he didn't. The war with Iran began in 1979 when Carter was president, and they took our embassy.
Yeah,
he's ending the war. He's ending a war.
It's only you boomers that believe in that.
I'm not a boomer. I'm Gen X. Boomers are like my parents. They don't even know what a boomer is.
Well. Yeah, well,
and what kind of big? I thought, aren't you enlightened? Excuse me. What is this ageism with you? What are you, some kind of bigot against people older than you? You think that people older than you shouldn't have opinions?
I'm not a bigot. It's just people that are older than me.
Excuse me. What's this boomer thing about then? That's a.
What it's about? What it's about
what does
is
that mean?
Older folks are very gullible and susceptible to. Attack ads that are just completely.
When you call someone a boomer, that's not a compliment. That's a term of bigotry. You have a bigotry. Excuse me. You have a bigotry towards people older than you. It's called ageism.
Oh, now you're playing the victim. Oh,
no, I'm not. Believe me, you couldn't victimize me. I mean, you think I'm going to let some loser incel? You think some loser incel's going to victimize me? You don't even have a girlfriend.
You have a problem with people that are old. Okay, sir, I hear you spew out hatred.
With age comes, excuse me, I'm speaking.
For Muslims and for minorities.
With age comes wisdom. Oh, so you listen and watch me a lot.
Yeah, I watch your
So
bigotry every day.
Good. Every day. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I give you a like too on YouTube.
Well, that's nice. Thank you for the like. But with age comes wisdom.
No, actually, wisdom that can be true for a certain group of people, but also with age comes an amount of arrogance, an amount of, oh, I know I struggled, so you guys have to struggle the way I struggled.
What are you talking about?
And that ignorance.
Are you struggling?
Oh, you guys are opposed.
Are you struggling?
You guys are opposed. You guys are opposed to Medicare for all.
Yeah, that's called socialism, communism.
That's called socialism. It's communist. Well, let's
true.
see. Your title today was "There's going to be a red wave." Boy, are you wrong.
Okay.
We'll see in November, buddy. In November.
So you're struggling?
What?
You said that my generation thinks that your generation needs to struggle. So are you struggling in life? Is life?
Yes.
Really? What are you struggling with?
Because in the 80s and in the 90s, it was actually pretty affordable, and you were able to support a family off of a simple factory job. And nowadays, you can't. The people don't even have an opportunity to buy a house unless you're stupid, stinking rich. And there are people that that somehow are able to buy a house, but for the vast majority of us, ownership of a home is almost
okay. Now slow down. This is a good thing. Okay, so you say you can't own a home. Are you married?
Sir, it's about Trump. It's
no. Hold on. So you're not married.
If I'm married,
okay.
or
See,
if
this is
you're
the problem.
married.
The reason that your generation can't afford a house.
I own a home. I own a home.
Oh, then what are you complaining about? Oh, so you own a home.
I am able to have empathy.
So you own a house.
Let me finish my point. Yes.
Well, wait a minute. I thought.
I am able.
Wait a minute.
Excuse me. Let me finish my point.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
I'm able to have empathy for my children and my child.
Oh, wait a minute. You have children?
And
you
so
have
I'm
children?
a grandpa.
You're a grandpa?
I have grandchildren.
How old are you?
I'm 67.
How old?
67.
You're older than me by a lot. What year were you born?
Yes, 67. So
what year? No. What year were you born?
In 1963, buddy. So what's
1963?
What are you quizzing me for?
You're not 67.
Yeah, sir. I'm in my 60s.
No. You said you were 67.
Yes.
You were not born in 1963. If you're 67.
I'm a little.
You're a liar.
I didn't say 60.
You're a liar. You said you were
67.
First you were yelling at me and calling me a boomer, which I'm not, and now you're claiming that you are a boomer.
Yes, you are. You're a boomer.
If you were 67, you would have been born in 1959.
Sir, I was born in 63. I'm in my 60s, okay?
No.
So
No. You said 67. And you're attacking older people.
Guess what? Yeah, guess what, buddy?
67, I think, is your IQ.
You have no empathy.
No, I have empathy, but you're a liar. Why did you lie?
Your president is a liar. How about that?
But why did you lie about your age?
Because the president lies. Lying is acceptable. It's okay.
The reason that people in your generation can't afford houses is because you're all trans or gay or some weird gender and you're not married. It takes two incomes.
And that's what I'm saying. You are filled with hatred.
No, it takes two incomes to buy a house. My parents bought a house. My parents are baby boomers, okay? They bought a house after they were married as a couple.
The reason why people were able to buy houses is because they married and they put their wife to work.
No, because they have two incomes. Because it's two incomes.
Oh, so the people that can't afford houses are all gays.
Well, your generation.
Okay.
If you or straight and adulting.
Yeah, how about our men and women on that aircraft carrier?
Most of them are married. They have their spouses. They have their spouses back home at port. They're married and they have base housing too for married people.
Dude, they're eating trash.
I
saw the food they're eating. It's awful.
That's not what they're eating.
It's fake news?
Yes.
Is that fake news?
Yes.
Oh my God, dude! You just cannot accept facts that are happening around the world.
From what? A liar? Hey, listen, I got to run, but call me
again
sometime.
You're a part of a cult.
Yes, I know exactly. Oh my goodness, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh boy, I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you something, Brian. I'm listening to this, and it's getting me crazy. The memory, the lack of memory, the Alzheimer's, the forgetfulness of these Democrat hypocrites that are calling you like this guy with the housing.
No, hold on, Richard, while I answer all the phone lines coming in. Yeah, all right. Yeah, go ahead.
President Trump has only been president for the last two years.
Not even. You're a little over a year and a half.
A year and a half, yet they're blaming everything on him. Meanwhile, their guy in the White House created this damn problem where interest rates went out of the roof, housing went out of the roof. Oh, those are the same people.
Don't get into facts when you're dealing with that guy. I mean, first off, he calls me he calls me a boomer that he claims to be a boomer himself. This is the thing.
Yeah, he was young.
Most people throughout the modern era, from from World War II on, the era of the suburbs and on, bought houses when they had two incomes. Very few people buy houses as single people. And there's these Gen Z and millennials, they don't get married, and they wonder why they can't buy a house. It's because you don't have two incomes.
Yeah, but they're blaming Trump for this. And you got to understand something,
hold
Brian.
on, Richie. My phones are just blowing up here. I don't know what's going on. Yes, go ahead.
The same people that are out there every day on their news networks, their NBC, CBS's, where these morons are sucking it in, are told there's an affordability crisis. Started by them, and by the way, their solutions, they want to turn the United States affordability like California, where people can't afford to live, they're leaving, and New York City, which is totally a disaster.
Think about all my wife and I give you an example. My wife and I, a few weeks ago, went through all of our apps that we have, and we found out I like Paramount Plus, okay? Because it's got some shows on it. I like Paramount Plus. And I was shocked to learn we were paying for 3 subscriptions to Paramount Plus, right? So we canceled 2 of them. But, they sit around on their apps with their monthly subscriptions. They don't work. And this guy here, he's complaining he's got money. I'm glad he watches me, but he watches me in the morning. He watches me at night. He's watching me on the weekends. And he wonders why he has no money. You got to get a job, right?
Brian, can I save you money Can I save you money real fast? I'd save you personally money. You get an opportunity, go online and look up they're sold by Walmart, by the way, Superbox. I have one over 4,000 stations, had it for 2 years, had Paramount Plus along with everything else, and I paid one-time payment for the box, and it's legal as long as I don't download and send it out.
Text me that.
It's called Superbox.
You've got my phone number. You can text me that. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. That sounds like a pretty good thing to me.
I'm telling you, I've had it for 2 years. All pay-per-view.
You got it at Walmart?
Everything.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, Walmart sells it as a third party.
I remember when I was a kid. Any of you guys remember this? We had you know how you would, in the early days of cable, when we had the long cord on the remote control kind of thing?
Yeah.
And if you put magnets on the bottom of it, you could get the pay-per-view movies for free. Do you remember? Did any of you ever remember doing that?
Yeah, I get it all.
Yeah, I did all that. Remember that? All right, Richie, I got to run, but I appreciate the call. But text me that and I'll get that box. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Charles, Atlanta, Georgia.
Hey, Atlanta. What's up?
Well, I have a call. I know your tagline is the midterm, so I hope you're accepting a somewhat off-topic question. I'm wondering how you square Trump 2028 with the Constitution's clear rule, no third term.
Well, the Constitution has said all kinds of things that have been changed over the years. The Constitution once said that women could not vote. So was it
right,
wrong?
But right now,
Excuse me.
Third term.
So was it wrong for the suffragettes to advocate for the right of women to vote?
I don't think that answers my question.
No, it does. It does.
It
It shows see, the Constitution is changed. There are things in the Constitution that can be changed from time to time, like giving women the vote.
So you're saying that we're going to have an amendment before 2028?
Do you know it was in the Constitution that you couldn't buy or consume or possess alcohol, prohibition.
So taking your logical conclusion, you say they could change. So you're saying we're going to have a change before he runs for president for a third term?
Why not? I would like that.
See,
I have this crazy idea that you on the left
They've never moved that fast.
See, I believe that the American people should be able to vote for who they want as president, so long as they're 35 years of age and a natural-born U.S. citizen. And we've only had term limits in this country since the early 1950s. So throughout most of this nation's history, we didn't have term limits.
Okay, that's totally fair.
But I don't know what. But if Trump is so unpopular, as all of you never Trumpers want to say he is, what are you worried about? You would want to run him in 2028 because he would lose, right? He's so unpopular. Why do you worry about that?
Obama would crush him.
Obama? Which one? Barack or Michelle?
Either.
Bring him on. I'd love it.
Yeah,
Trump versus Obama, 2028. I'd go for that.
Well, that's great, but you and I both know they're not even talking about making an amendment. So it's not going to happen in that
President
time.
Trump
so
President Trump posted a photograph of himself on True Social over the weekend in a Trump 2028 hat.
Yep, I know.
So it's on his mind.
How do you square it?
It's on his mind.
Yeah, but no, it has to go through either the states or an overwhelming majority. I think it has to go through both states and Congress. States aren't doing anything. Congress isn't doing anything.
You never know. You could be. Then you got nothing to worry about, man. Then what are you so worried about then? If it's not going to happen, why are you so hysterical?
Because when Mussolini came to power, he also was joking about his march on Rome, and it was all a joke until it happened. Trump has been constantly laying out the groundwork to display, like, oh, the elections are fake, and I'm going to declare an emergency, and he's willing to seize power by any means. We as Americans need to stay on alert for despots.
You need to be on alert for Trump?
Yeah, despots of any kind.
Really? What would he do? What do you mean? What do you think Trump's going to do?
I think he could try to hold power illegally against the Constitution.
You know, he's already left the White House once, if you remember, when Otto Penn Biden, on Inauguration Day, he left the White House. He left. He's already...
He did. Yeah. He did. But he was crying out the door. He still no evidence presented in court for the 2020 election.
So what? He got reelected in 2024. See, I live in the now. I don't live 6 years in the past like you.
Yeah, because someone's past actions don't inform the future and the present. Yeah, yep, there you go.
But he posted it's definitely on his mind, because over the weekend he posted this photograph of him with the Trump 2028 hat on. And it's a pretty cool photo. He looks super cool in that picture, doesn't he? I'm showing it on YouTube.
I don't like to taste the food,
in your lifetime, what president has been greater than Donald Trump in your lifetime?
Obama.
What is Obama's greatest accomplishment that makes him great?
Healthcare was pretty good. He got us out of Iraq. He reduced the deficit.
No. That ended later. That ended later.
The other thing is, man, you watch videos of Obama and you hear him talk. He just sounds like a smart person.
And he just sounds like a smart person. Well, there's a difference in sounding like a smart person and actually being smart. Obamacare was a disaster. He wrecked the private health care.
Harvard Law versus my daddy got me into UPenn.
Joy Reid went to Harvard. What does that tell you? Abdul was a Rhodes Scholar. Because somebody goes to a Joy Reid from MSNBC, Abdul in Michigan's a Rhodes Scholar. Just because somebody went to a fancy school doesn't mean much.
Okay, well, Obama's never had a bankrupt business, so we're talking about
to have a business go bankrupt, you have to have had a business.
True. Never impeached.
And he never did anything either. He killed that he killed that American girl that was kidnapped by Al Qaeda. He bombed her. Remember that? He bombed that poor girl. She was a sex slave of the leader of Al Qaeda. He knew she was there.
Oh, Obama did?
Yeah, the same day he did that selfie stick video. Yeah, he was terrible.
So that's one girl. You
he brought. One American girl. Well, I haven't killed any American girls.
Broken up about Iranian girls?
President Trump hasn't killed any American girls who were hostages of terrorists.
He killed a lot of them. He's helped kill a lot of Americans indirectly, though. I see your point there, but I think the body count is firmly Trump.
What Americans have been killed by Trump?
We can go for women, trying to get abortions or not be able to get an abortion, and they're dying that way. That's
they just signed a bill into law allowing abortions right up to the day of birth in Massachusetts. No, those aren't American women that attack police officers and federal agents. You're talking about Renee Good? I didn't know Donald Trump killed Renee Good. I didn't see him in the video.
Well, dude, if you say Obama killed that hostage, then yeah, Trump.
Yeah, well, Obama ordered a bomb strike. They told him she was there, and he still okayed the bomb strike.
Yeah, and Trump said, "Here's a bunch of guns, you bunch of losers who don't have jobs. Go to the cities and shoot people."
Who are you talking about? ICE are losers?
The people that ICE hired.
ICE are losers without jobs.
Yeah.
Renee Good tried to run over a federal agent. She hit one with her car.
No, she did not.
She hit him with the car. There's only about 12 videos from every angle. Most of them are liberals.
You guys have gotten very good at the somersaults for Trump, but that's now you're not somersaulting this one.
For Trump, I know. Hey, listen, take care. All right, you're a good caller. Call me again sometime. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Chris from Pennsylvania.
Hey, what's up, Pennsylvania?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I was just seeing how you felt about the midterms. Trump is approval rating is pretty doggone low right now, and I'm
no, it's not. His approval rating among Republicans is in the 90s. Among MAGA Republicans, it's about 93. Among Republicans overall, it's 85.
Well, we're not talking about approval ratings just on the right. We're talking about in America. Can you turn down the volume of whatever device you're listening to me on? Because there's an echo on my end. So can you turn down the volume? Because I want to explain this to you. Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay. In the midterms, it doesn't matter what Democrats think in regards to Republicans because you're not going to vote Republican, right? And I was just pointing out here in Florida, we have had about 1 million more Republicans vote in the early voting in our primary than ever before. Our turnout is much higher by the hundreds of thousands compared to the Democrats. I mean, we're winning everywhere. The momentum's on our side.
That's not how approval rating consensuses are formed. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican.
Yeah, sure.
It
doesn't matter what Democrats
they go around. Think. Yeah, I mean, you're disputing what a approval rating of a president is, right?
Well, no, I look at different. I don't when you're doing an approval, like for example, when Biden was president, okay, my opinion of Biden and an approval rating wouldn't matter because I don't like him and I'm not going to vote for anybody that he would tell me to vote for in the midterms. You know what I mean? So when you're doing an approval rating, it only matters what the people of that party think.
Okay, so what if the party is unpopular?
Well, that's not the case with the Republicans. The Democrat Party is in big trouble because you're first off, you got a civil war going on with these commie Democrat socialists, that are running. So you've got what is the Democrat Party platform in this election year? 2026. The platform, yes.
On affordability.
No, that's a vague generality. They're saying vote for us and we're going to do this. What are they going to do?
Make life a lot more affordable.
That's a platitude, a policy, a specific. I can tell you what Republicans would do, but we're talking about Democrats now. You're giving me platitudes.
Well, for one, it's to hold Donald Trump accountable for the $2.2 billion that he's enriched himself in.
Hating Trump is not a policy. I'll give you an example. All right, the main issue with the Republicans in the midterms is a simple one, right? Pass the Save America Act.
It still has not been passed, and it's not looking like.
Well, no, it was passed in the House several times, and it'll go through the Senate.
Yeah, and it gets shot down in the Senate.
But it'll get passed in the Senate after we win the midterms, and Thune's not the leader anymore. And no, it hasn't been shot down in the Senate because Thune hasn't brought it up for a vote because he knows it'll pass and he's trying to stop it. But anyway, okay, we're saying vote for us. We're going to pass the Save America Act so that you have to prove you're a U.S. citizen to register to vote, and you have to show state-issued photo ID to vote. So that's a specific policy that we're advocating for. What policies do the Democrats have?
I just told you, sir. I just told you they're
on Trump?
Running on. It's not called hating. It's called holding somebody accountable.
For what?
It's called checks and balances.
What did he do?
First, he enriched himself by $2.2 billion.
Making money is not
American
a crime.
People.
Making money is not a crime.
Enriching yourself through the office is.
He doesn't even take a salary. He hasn't enriched himself through the office.
A salary? We're not talking about a salary, dude. We're talking about what policies he makes so he can enrich himself.
What policy did he make that he? Excuse me.
Let me tell you. His son.
Excuse me. What policy did he make that he enriched himself with?
Okay, let me answer that for you if you would stay patient. His son created a drone company, and then a whole bunch of defense firms.
You said that's his son. You said Trump passed a law, and he's making money off of it. So what law did Trump pass?
His family's laundering money for him.
No,
that's laundering.
That's his son I'm talking about. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Oh, my goodness. It's not a crime to make money. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I tell you, if you're new to my program, make sure you guys subscribe on whatever platform you're on. You know, I live stream every morning and most afternoons on YouTube Live, and the Brian Craig Show podcast is available wherever you get podcasts. If you'd like to support my channel, my content, my podcast, everything I do, become a Patreon supporter. There's a link in the description of the episode on whatever platform you're tuned in on to my Patreon page. And when you become a Patreon supporter, you get access to a lot of exclusive content, including my Patreon-only live streams that are available only to Patreon supporters. It is a troll-free zone. No liberal lunatics are there. It's a live stream, much like on YouTube, with a live chat, and I talk about things that I don't talk about here and that I cannot talk about here or anywhere else, okay? That's on Patreon. And when you go there, you'll see an option to join for free. If you join for free, you do not have access to any of the content. You have to be a paying Patreon supporter. That's where Patron comes in. And that starts at just $5 a month, and then you get access to the content. If you become a top Patreon supporter, you get your name up on the screen here on YouTube and an on-air thank you shout-out on every podcast episode. So the names you'll hear now are my top Patreon supporters. I want to thank SFjr, Christine, Chuck, Pamela, Nick, Wesley, Doris, Heather, David, Maria in Texas, Alice, LeeZep, Shawna, George, Brandon, John, Frank, Dale, Tina, David, Laura, Rob, Wes, Sue, Janice, Teresa, Irene, Rick, Michael, and Robert R. Thanks so much, guys. Those are my top Patreon supporters. Everyone watching on YouTube, please do me the favor of liking the video if you don't mind. When you like the video, you get the video recommended to people that have not yet found the channel. My name is Brian Craig. I will see you first thing.